No one celebrated when the word peace was spoken. Across the galaxy, thousands of star systems stopped to listen. A single message played on every screen, in every language. The Galactic Council stood together, tall and calm, glowing with authority. Today, the speaker said, war ends. Today, peace begins. For many species, it was the greatest moment in history. For humanity, it felt like the start of something dangerous. Humans were still new to the galaxy. They did not rule planets older than stars. They did not command fleets the size of moons. Compared to others, they looked small and weak. But humans had survived their own world. They had learned one hard lesson again and again. Peace was never simple. On Earth, cities filled with noise. People hugged. News channels repeated the same words. Historic. Unprecedented. A new future. The Galactic Council offered protection. All species would live under one law. No borders. No wars. No private armies. Weapons would be destroyed. Fleets would be reduced. Defense systems would be shut down. Trust the Council, they said. Peace needs unity. Commander Elias Ward did not clap. He stood alone in a dark command room, far from the celebrations. Stars moved slowly on the large screen before him. He watched the Council's message again, this time with the sound low. He focused on details others ignored. The Council members smiled, but their eyes were cold. Their voices were smooth but careful. They promised peace, but not equality. Elias noticed something missing. They never said the word choice. Elias had studied history. Not alien history. Human history. Every time peace was forced, someone suffered. He sent quiet requests through military channels, old reports, trade records, alien conflicts before humans arrived. Most files were restricted. Some were incomplete. Many were sealed for peace. That worried him more than open threats. While Earth celebrated, human scientists worked in silence. Deep space sensors showed strange movement. Alien fleets were active again. They were not attacking. They were not retreating. They were repositioning. Always near human space. Always just outside scanning range. When asked, the Council answered quickly. Routine security. They said, nothing to fear. Humans had learned that fear often arrived quietly. A single probe was launched from the edge of the solar system. It carried no weapons, no signals, no identity. It moved like space dust, slow and invisible. The probe listened. What it heard was not peace. Alien fleets were not disarming. They were building. Shipyards worked day and night. New warships formed in deep space. Weapon systems humans had never seen were tested and upgraded. Peace laws applied only in human space. Outside it, the galaxy prepared for something else. Elias called a private meeting. Military leaders joined. Scientists followed. A few politicians attended, nervous and unsure. The room was silent as data appeared on the screen. Fleet movements. Weapon tests. Hidden bases. This is not peace, one officer said quietly. A politician shook his head. The Council promised. They promised safety, Elias replied. Not honesty. Arguments followed. Some believed resistance would start a war. Some believed obedience would prevent one. Elias listened. Then he spoke. Humans survived because they asked questions, he said. Because they prepared when others relaxed. No one answered him. They did not need to. The Galactic Council sent another message soon after. Friendly, calm, polite, humans. The speaker said, your disarmament progress is behind schedule. The smile returned. Peace requires cooperation. Earth delayed. More questions were sent. Requests for shared inspections. Demands for transparency. Every request was denied. Always politely. Always calmly. Then a human mining colony went silent. No distress call. No explosion. No survivors. The Council blamed pirates. There were no pirate signals. No pirate ships. No evidence. Just silence. Elias stared at the empty star on the map. Peace had taken its first life. Human fleets did not stand down. They did not attack either. They waited. Weapons were powered but hidden. Systems upgraded in secret. Old human tactics returned. Decentralized command. Independent thinking. If peace was a cage, humans would test every bar. Far from Earth, deep in alien space, commanders watched human activity. One of them leaned forward. "They are not obeying," he said. Another answered slowly, "Because they see the trap." Silence followed. Then a final thought was spoken. That makes humans the biggest threat of all. Peace did not begin with an attack. It began with a rule. The Galactic Council released a new directive without warning. It was short, clear, final. All human military movement beyond local space is now forbidden. The reason was simple: peace protection. On Earth, the message played on every screen. The words were calm, but the meaning was sharp. Humans were no longer allowed to move freely. No patrols. No deep space scans. No armed ships beyond their own system. It was not a prison, but it felt like one. Commander Elias Ward read the directive once. Then he smiled, not because it was funny, but because it confirmed everything. Other species accepted the rule immediately. Their fleets returned home, their weapons powered down. They trusted the Council. Humans did not. They asked a different question. What happens if we follow? Human analysts noticed something strange. The new rule applied only to humans. No other species faced the same limits. Alien fleets still moved freely. Trade, convoys crossed borders. Warships passed near human space without warning. Peace had two versions. Elias ordered a silent test. One small human ship moved past the allowed zone. No weapons active. No signal sent. Within minutes, 3 alien patrol ships appeared. Not pirates. Not traders. Military. They said nothing. They just followed. The human ship turned back. The alien ship stayed until it crossed the line. Then they vanished. Watching. Measuring. On Earth, fear began to replace celebration. People asked questions. Why only humans? Why now? Why so many alien ships nearby? The Council answered with the same words every time. Peace takes time. Humans had heard that before. Scientists made a discovery soon after. The Peace Network. A system of satellites placed across human space. The Council claimed they were for communication and safety. Humans examined the data. The satellites could disable ships, shut down power, block signals. They were not shields. They were locks. Elias called another closed meeting. This is control, he said, not peace. Some leaders hesitated. If we resist, we become the enemy, one said. Elias nodded. If we obey, he replied, we disappear. Then the Council made its next move. A peace delegation arrived in orbit around Earth. No weapons, no escorts, just diplomats. They requested a landing. Millions watched as the alien ship descended. The delegates walked slowly, confidently. Cameras followed every step. Their leader spoke kindly. Humans, he said, your kind struggles with trust. The words sounded gentle. They were not. The delegate offered a solution. Human defense systems would be placed under Council control, temporarily, for safety. Human fleets would receive Council officers on board, for guidance. Peace requires supervision, he said. Elias stood in the back of the room. He saw the truth clearly now. This was not about stopping war. It was about stopping choice. Before an answer could be given, an alert sounded. A human listening post near the edge of space went offline. Not destroyed. Disabled. Clean. Precise. Silent. The peace satellites activated. The alien delegate did not react. He only smiled. Elias understood. This was the test. Accept control and live. Resist and be punished. He sent a single coded message through old human channels. Not to the Council. To humanity. The message was short. Do not comply. Across Earth and human colonies, systems shifted. Manual controls activated. Old networks woke up. Hidden fleets moved. Humans did not attack. They prepared. Far away, alien commanders received reports. Human ships were moving again. Signals were changing. Patterns were breaking. One commander clenched his claws. "They are not panicking," he said. "They are adapting." The delegate looked at Earth one last time. "Peace was offered," he said quietly. In space, human ships went dark. Not powerless. Invisible. The trap had closed. But humans were still inside it, and they were learning its shape. The first human attack was not an attack. No shots were fired. No ships exploded. No lives were taken. That confused the galaxy. For days, the peace satellites watched human space closely. They waited for panic. They waited for mistakes. Humans gave them silence. Human ships stopped sending normal signals. Human stations went dark. Human trade vanished. To the Council, it looked like surrender. It was not. Commander Elias Ward stood inside an underground control room. Old screens glowed around him. Systems that were supposed to be dead were alive again. Humans had kept their past. Old code, old machines, old habits, things the galaxy never noticed. The peace satellites tried to link with human networks. They failed. The systems they expected were gone. Humans had unplugged themselves. Across alien space, confusion spread. "How are they still functioning?" one analyst asked. "They should be blind," another said. But humans were not blind. They were watching without being seen. A small alien patrol near human space suddenly lost navigation. Not broken, not hacked. It simply stopped working. The ship drifted. Then control returned. No damage. No warning. Just a message left behind. One human sentence. "Testing complete." The Council demanded answers. "Humans," the speaker said, "you are disrupting peace systems." The voice was calm, but the Council was no longer smiling. Elias listened. He said nothing. Instead, human scientists shared their report. The peace network used a central command signal. It controlled everything. Ships, satellites, defense grids. One mind, one weakness. Humans did not strike it. They mapped it. Slowly, quietly. Alien commanders grew nervous. Human behavior made no sense. No attacks. No demands. No fear. Only change. Human ships moved in new patterns. Supply routes vanished. Colonies became independent cells. There was no single target anymore. An alien admiral spoke the truth first. "These are not peace tactics," he said. "These are war survival tactics." The Council issued a final warning. "Cease all unauthorized activity," they said, "or corrective action will follow." Humans responded at last, with a broadcast. It did not come from Earth. It came from everywhere. Human colonies, ships, stations, all at once. Elias appeared on screen. His voice was calm. "Peace without choice is control," he said. "Control always fails." The broadcast ended. Seconds later, something happened that had never happened before. A peace satellite shut itself down. Then another. Then hundreds. Not destroyed. Disabled. Perfectly. Alien fleets rushed toward human space. They expected resistance. They found nothing. Human space was empty. Then the galaxy felt it. Trade routes failed. Navigation data became unreliable. Communication lagged. Not everywhere. Only near human systems. Humans had found a way to exist outside the peace network. They were no longer part of the system. They were a variable. An alien commander slammed his claws on the console. "They broke the rules," he shouted. Another answered quietly. "No," he said. "They broke the assumption." The Council realized the truth too late. Peace only worked if everyone depended on it. Humans did not. They never had. Deep in space, human fleets waited, not in formation, not together. Each group knew its role. Each ship had a choice. Elias looked at the star map. The trap was still there. But now, humans controlled the door. Far away, an alien observer recorded a final note. "Humans do not fight systems," it wrote. "They become something systems cannot hold." The galaxy had wanted obedience. It had created freedom instead. And peace would never be the same again. Peace broke without a sound. No announcement. No warning. One moment. Human space was quiet. The next, a star went dark. It was not Earth. It was a small human colony system. A young star with 3 settled worlds. No heavy weapons. No fleets. Only families, miners, and engineers. Their sun dimmed. Then it collapsed. Not naturally. Artificially. Across a galaxy. Sensors recorded the event. Scientists stared in silence. They knew what it was. A stellar suppression weapon. The Council had sworn such weapons were banned. They had lied. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Their faces were calm. Their voices were steady. The star was unstable, the speaker said. A tragic accident. No one believed them, but no one spoke. On Earth, the truth spread faster than fear. Human scientists confirmed it within hours. The star had been forced to die. The message was clear. This was not punishment. This was demonstration. Commander Elias Ward stood in the war room. No one celebrated anymore. No one argued. They only listened. This is the Council's answer, Elias said. They believe fear will finish what peace could not. Human leaders asked the hardest question. Do we strike first? The galaxy held its breath. Elias shook his head. Not yet, he said. They want us angry. Humans chose something harder. Patience. Instead of attacking, humans revealed the truth. They sent data. Every species received it. Weapon signatures. Energy patterns. Council eyes. The broadcast ended with one line. They destroyed a star. Shock spread. Old alliances trembled. Neutral worlds questioned everything. The Council responded immediately. That data is false, they said. Human manipulation. But the damage was done. Then the Council made a mistake. They activated the weapon again. This time, they aimed it closer. Too close. Human sensors caught it early. For the first time, humans did not hide. They moved. Human fleets appeared across space. Not together. Not loud. Precise. They did not attack the weapon. They attacked its eyes. Observation stations failed. Relay hubs went dark. Command links broke. The weapon still existed, but it was blind. Alien commanders panicked. This was not predicted. One said. Another answered with fear. They are hunting the system, not the ships. Elias watched reports flow in. Humans were not fighting a war. They were dismantling control, piece by piece. The Council issued an ultimatum. Return to compliance, they demanded, or Earth will be next. For the first time, their voices shook. Elias responded publicly. His message was short. You already crossed a line. Human scientists completed their work. They had studied the suppression weapon, not to copy it, to survive it. When the weapon fired again, space bent, energy moved. Then nothing happened. The beam faded. The target star lived. Across the galaxy, disbelief turned into fear. Humans had done the impossible. They had resisted a stellar weapon. The Council realized the truth. Fear no longer worked. In a private channel, an alien general spoke softly. They are not trying to win, he said. They are trying to make us irrelevant. Human fleets pulled back, not defeated, not exhausted. Ready? Elias looked at the star map. The galaxy was changing, and it was no longer listening to the Council. Peace had failed. Force had failed. Only one option remained, and everyone knew who would choose it first. The galaxy waited for a human attack. It never came. No massive fleets. No burning worlds. No revenge strikes. Instead, humanity did something no one expected. They walked away. Human colonies stopped using galactic systems. No council trade. No peace network signals. No shared navigation beacons. Human space went quiet again. But this time it felt different. Permanent. Alien markets felt it first. Trade routes collapsed. Rare materials vanished. Human technology disappeared overnight. Entire industries failed. Peace had depended on humans more than anyone knew. The Galactic Council issued orders. Reintegration is required, they said. Human isolation threatens stability. but the words sounded weak. The galaxy had seen the truth. Commander Elias Ward stood before the human assembly. Not soldiers, not politicians, citizens. We are not leaving the galaxy, he said. We are leaving control. Human fleets moved again, not to attack, to protect. Every colony became self-sufficient. Every system learned to defend itself. No single center, no single failure point. Alien intelligence struggled. Where's their capital? They asked. There was none. Who commands them? Everyone did. The council attempted pressure. Sanctions. Blockades. Threats. Humans adapted. Old ships were reused. New paths were found. Local alliances formed. Humans did not break. They evolved. Then came the incident. A neutral alien world tried to seize a human transport. Council authorities supported the action. Human escort ships arrived. They did not fire. They stood in the way. Alien weapons charged. Human ships did something strange. They opened their hulls. Refugees poured out. Families, children, workers. No shields. No weapons. Only people. The alien commander froze. This was not a battle tactic. This was a moral trap. The transport escaped. The escort ships followed. No shots fired. But the story spread across the galaxy. From that moment, other species began to hesitate. If humans could resist the council, maybe they could too. Quiet support began. Information leaks. Supplies lost in transit. Council patrols delayed. The council noticed. Fear returned. Elias received a private message. Not from the council. From an alien admiral. We do not want this war, it said. Elias replied. Neither do we. But peace was no longer possible. Not the old kind. The council made its final move. They declared humanity a destabilizing force. A threat to galactic order. Authorization for force was granted. The galaxy braced itself. This was no longer about humans. It was about control. Human fleets received the alert. No panic. No speeches. Only one shared message. Defend choice. Elias watched human ships spread across the stars. Independent. Connected. Ready. Far away. The Council's war fleets powered up. This time, there would be no pretending. Humanity had not declared war. But if war came, they would not fight for dominance. They would fight. So no one ever ruled them again. The war did not begin with a charge. It began with confusion. Galactic Council war fleets moved as they always had. Large formations. Heavy weapons. Clear command lines. They expected resistance at the borders of human space. They found nothing. Human systems were empty. No fleets. No stations. No targets. Council admirals believed humans were retreating. They were wrong. Human ships were everywhere, just not together. Commander Elias Ward watched the battle map change in real time. Not with fear, with focus. Begin phase 1, he said. Across the stars, humans acted. The first Council supply convoy vanished. No explosion. No wreckage. It simply never arrived. Then another. Then 5 more. Council fleets slowed. Fuel became precious. Ammunition was counted. Human ships did not attack the war fleets. They attacked time. Navigation systems began to fail. Star charts showed small errors. Tiny delays. But space travel does not forgive small mistakes. Ships arrived late. Formations broke. Plans collapsed. Alien commanders demanded answers. Who is leading this? One shouted. No one could answer. There was no central human command. Only shared intent. Human ships struck suddenly. 1 ship. 2 ships. Then gone. Targeting arrays disabled. Sensors blinded. No kills. No glory. Council captains grew angry. They fired into empty space. Humans waited. On one front, a Council battleship finally caught a human frigate. The alien captain smiled. End this, he ordered. The human ship did not flee. It turned. Its engines flared bright, and it rammed the battleship. The impact did not destroy the battleship, but it damaged its core. Human escape pods launched. Every human lived. The council captain stared in shock. They sacrificed a ship, he whispered. Another officer answered. They saved the people. Across the galaxy, similar reports arrived. Human ships were expendable. Human lives were not. Elias received confirmation. Phase 2. Human networks activated. Information flooded neutral systems. Proof of council lies. Proof of star weapons. Proof of control. The war was no longer secret. Some species pulled back. Others hesitated. The council screamed betrayal. But trust was already broken. Then came the turning point. A massive council fleet cornered a human colony. The weapon charge. This time, humans did not block it. They redirected it. Energy bent through space. The beam missed the colony. It struck the fleet itself. Ships burned. The formation shattered. Silence followed. The council had lost a full war group to its own weapon. Alien admirals panicked. This is impossible, one said. Another whispered the truth. They planned for this. Elias closed his eyes briefly. Humans had learned long ago. If you cannot stop the weapon, change where it points. Human fleets emerged across the galaxy, not as invaders, as guardians. They protected trade lanes, defended neutral worlds, rescued civilians. The galaxy noticed. Humans were not conquerors. They were different. The council tried to regroup. It was too late. Their authority was gone. Their fleets were scattered. Their fear had turned against them. Elias looked at the final report. The war was not over, but it was decided. The galaxy had learned something new. Humans did not fight to win battles. They fought to end systems. And no system survived that. The war ended without a victory parade. No songs. No monuments. No flags planted on alien worlds. The fighting simply stopped. Galactic Council fleets retreated. Some surrendered. Others powered down and waited. Their command channels were silent. The Council itself did not fall in fire. It fell in irrelevance. Across the galaxy, species met without the Council for the first time in centuries. Trade resumed. Borders softened. Old fears faded. One question followed every meeting. What do we do about the humans? Humans did not demand territory. They did not demand power. They did not demand apology. They made one request. Leave us alone, and we will leave you free. Commander Elias Ward watched from Earth as the final council station shut down its peace network. The satellites went dark. The system that once controlled everything became space junk. No human ship fired. There was no need. A new gathering formed. Not a council. Not an empire. A table. Every species was invited. No leader sat above others. Humans arrived last. They did not speak first. An alien elder finally asked the question everyone feared. Why did you stop? He said. You could have ruled us. Elias answered simply. Because control creates enemies, he said. And humans have had enough of those. The elder studied him. You could have destroyed the galaxy. Elias nodded. So could you, he replied. That is why no one should. Silence followed. Not fear, understanding. Human fleets returned home. Some ships were never rebuilt. Some technologies were never used again. Not because humans could not, because they chose not to. Across alien space, a new rule spread quietly. Never trap humans. Never force them. Never lie to them about peace. In military academies, new lessons were taught. Humans did not fight for glory. Humans did not fight for conquest. Humans fought when choice was threatened. And when they did, they adapted faster than fear. They learned faster than enemies. They endured longer than systems. A single alien historian wrote the final record. Humanity was not the strongest species. They were not the smartest. They were not the most advanced. They were the most free. And freedom made them unstoppable. Years later, a human child asked a simple question. Why doesn't the galaxy tell us what to do? The answer was honest. Because we said no, the parent replied. And we meant it. Far beyond Earth, old council ruins drifted in silence. A reminder, peace without choice is not peace. It is a cage, the galaxy learned, and it never forgot.